Hi, I'm Richard Howe. I'm a candidate for re-election for the office of Registry of Deeds for the Middlesex North District. Over the next couple of minutes, I'd like to talk to you about my accomplishments as the incumbent Registrar of Deeds, about my plans for the future at the Registry of Deeds should I be re-elected, and also tell you a little bit about myself. In doing this, I hope to persuade you to vote for me in the state election on November 6th. When I first was elected Registrar of Deeds, I promised to use technology to make the office more efficient and more customer-friendly. I submit that if you look at my performance in office, you'll conclude that I fulfilled that promise. From the time I took office as Registrar of Deeds, we've scanned every document ever recorded, from the first deed from the year 1629 right up until one recorded today. I've made all of those documents, 14 million pages of them, freely available on the registry website, which is lowelldeeds.com. Under my leadership, Middlesex North became the first registry of deeds in Massachusetts to implement electronic recording of documents. This allows lawyers and lenders who have a secure internet connection to the registry to record documents electronically rather than bringing them to us in person. It's a huge efficiency that saves everyone involved time and money, including you, the homeowner. Technology is a big part of being Registry of Deeds, but so is addressing the concerns and questions of members of the public. To do that, when I first became Registrar of Deeds, I reorganized the office and created a dedicated customer service department. When you walk into the registry, you'll be waited on right away by somebody who can answer your questions promptly and professionally. When you call the registry, a human being will answer the telephone, usually on the first ring, and provide the same level of service. If you email us using the link on our website, the first place that message lands is my cell phone. That allows me to respond to you at nights and weekends, as well as during regular business hours. Many of you may have heard of the Declaration of Homestead. Under Massachusetts law, a homeowner who records a declaration of homestead at the Registry of Deeds can protect his or her home from creditors. Let me give you an example. Let's say you've been sued, have a big judgment rendered against you. Well, for most of us, our home is our most valuable asset, and creditors know that too. And so to collect the debt, the creditor will try to force the sale of your residence and use the proceeds to pay down the debt. If you have a declaration of homestead, your house is exempt from that process. I've made it much easier for homeowners to get a homestead. We have one-stop shopping at the registry. You just walk in, we give you a blank form, we help you fill it out, we notarize your signature, and we record the document for the one-time recording fee of $35. It's as simple as that and only takes 10 minutes. If coming to the registry is inconvenient for you, the blank form is available on our website, lowelldeeds.com, along with instructions for how to complete it and how to file it by mail. I've taken the homestead on the road to try to promote its usage because it's such a valuable thing for homeowners. I've done many seminars, usually at senior centers in the towns of the district, where I explain what the homestead is, I answer people's questions about real estate law, and I fill out the forms for them right there while they wait, take them back to the registry and record them. I've also made great efforts to allow people to use the Registry of Deeds website for historic research. I've given many programs and presentations at area libraries and have talked to local historical societies and genealogy groups about how to use the Registry of Deeds website to research the history of your home. Now, I've done all of this, these technological improvements and the improvements in customer service, without raising the cost of operating the office. In fact, the budget for the Registry of Deeds today is less than it was 20 years ago. And over the years, through attrition, I've reduced the number of employees at the registry from 34 when I started down to 16 today. And I've done all this without negatively impacting our efficiency. In fact, to process a document today, a task that once took maybe weeks to do, now just takes a few minutes. The registry operates on taxpayers' dollars, and as the Registrar of Deeds, I take very seriously my responsibility to spend your tax dollars wisely and without waste. So those are some of the things I've accomplished as Register of Deeds. But there's much left to be done, and that's why I seek re-election to this office. One of the biggest tasks on the horizon is moving the Registry of Deeds from its home of 160 years in the Middlesex Superior Courthouse in Lowell to the new Lowell Judicial Center. Now, since they announced the building of that new courthouse, I've tried to organize the registry to take maximum advantage of all the new technology that will be available in that state-of-the-art building. But actually making the move and transferring operations from one building to another without disrupting operations, something that's going to happen in 2019, will be a very complex task. And it will require the kind of leadership and management skills that I've demonstrated throughout my time as Register of Deeds. Another big task in 2019 will be converting to a new computer system. The one we have now at the registry was installed in 2002. And while it's been updated through the years, you all now know how rapidly technology changes. So this new system will take advantage of all the most modern technologies, and it will be very friendly to tablets and smartphones, which is how most people access the internet these days. But switching from one computer system to the other without disrupting operations is a challenging task. It's one I've done before, and it's one I can do again. As a lawyer with a background in computers, I have the skills needed to manage this process in a way that benefits everybody. And even in the bigger picture, the mortgage industry and major lenders in the United States are on the cusp of changing from a paper-based system of land records to one that is entirely electronic. That means that the next time you buy or sell your house or refinance your mortgage, you won't have to sign 24 pieces of paper. Instead, you'll swipe a tablet or a smartphone a couple of times. Now, through the years, I've become one of the leaders in land records management in Massachusetts. I've twice served as president of the Massachusetts Registry of Deeds Association. I've been the chair of that association's technology committee since it came into existence. In 2013, Secretary of State William Galvin appointed me as his representative to the Registry of Deeds Modernization and Efficiency Commission. We took testimony and conducted public hearings around the Commonwealth and then advised the legislature on financial and legal things that should be done to improve the operation of the Registry of Deeds. As this new system of doing real estate transactions comes into effect in Massachusetts, I want to have a seat at the table and use my skills and my background to ensure that the system is implemented in a way that's legal, secure, and watches out for the best interest of the homeowners in my district. So as you can see, the Register of Deeds is about much more than just managing an office. Perhaps the most important thing I do in that job is to pass judgment on documents that are presented for recording, like deeds and mortgages and liens. Many of them are routine, but quite a few are not. And it's something that requires a great deal of skill and understanding of real estate law. I've been a lawyer for almost 32 years. I've dealt extensively in real estate law. I can make the kind of day-to-day decisions that will best protect the title to your home. So those are the things I have ahead of me, the things I want to accomplish in the future, and the reasons I want to be re-elected Register of Deeds. But before I wrap up, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and brought up in Lowell. I went to Providence College on an ROTC scholarship. When I graduated, I went into the United States Army, where I was trained as an intelligence officer. I was stationed in West Germany to a unit that patrolled the Iron Curtain at the height of the Cold War. One of my primary responsibilities there was safeguarding our most valuable information from our adversaries. Now, those are skills that are very valuable to me today as Register of Deeds, because as the custodian of electronic records, I have the responsibility of protecting them from hackers and others who would do harm. Now, I've maintained those skills by going to expert-led seminars from year to year as Register of Deeds. Well, I served 4 years in the Army, and then I came out and came back to Lowell. I went to Suffolk University Law School and became a lawyer. I first practiced law with my sister, Martha Howe, and our father, Richard P. Howe Sr., who also served for many years as a city councilor and mayor of Lowell. I continued practicing law until I was elected Registry of Deeds, a job I have held since. I still live in Lowell with my wife, Roxanne. She's a high school administrator. She's actually an Army veteran too. We met while we were both stationed in Germany, and this November we'll celebrate our 35th wedding anniversary. We have an adult son named Andrew who lives and works in Washington, D.C., and an 11-year-old yellow lab named Ivy who brings a great deal of joy into our lives. In my spare time, my passion is history, particularly local history. I've written several books about Lowell. I'm the official tour guide of the historic Lowell Cemetery, and I'm the founder of Lowell Walks, a series of history walks, guided tours in downtown Lowell during the summertime. So those are some of the ways I give back to the community and participate in the life of my city and my region. So I'm going to wrap up now by saying that based on my past performance, my implementation of new technology, my concern for customer service, the challenges that we face in the future at the Registry of Deeds of moving into the new courthouse, implementing a new computer system, and managing the changeover from a centuries-old tradition of paper documents to one that's all electronic, I submit to you that I have the training, the background, and the skills needed to lead the Registry of Deeds into the future. I'm Richard Howe, and I ask for your vote for Registry of Deeds. Thank you.